What do you got on your back?
Oh, what do I got on my back? So this is the ghost blind. We're gonna do a review on it today, so stay tuned and we'll talk about it. I'm gonna hurry up and get this set up real quick and then we'll come back. Alright, so I got the ghost blind set up here in between these two little apple trees or crab apples or whatever they are. You can make out the outline of the ghost blind, but usually you're going to want to put this in areas with a lot of shrubs or a lot of overgrowth. That's where it really excels. If you're wide out in the open, it's not going to work the greatest. I mean, it blends in a little bit right here. I'm gonna jump behind the ghost blind. So it's a little windy out today, so you might not be able to hear me that great, so just bear with me on it. And I'll sit down. This is me standing up, but I'll sit down and you can see if you see me and stuff like that. So now you can see me a little bit over here. And I'm right here, and most of the times you're going to be looking through these holes right here when you're out hunting. You can also look through the little finger slots. I do that sometimes too. I'll bring you back here and show you the seat that I'm using. I have two different seats because that's another thing that I want to talk about is the seats. Alright, I got me and my oldest boy sitting behind the blind on two chairs. Say hello.
Hi.
Future hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna shoot a big buck?
Yeah.
200 plus, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, we'll hop up, we'll show them our chairs real quick. These are chairs that we have, just standard hunting chairs. Now, you will notice what, you probably won't be able to see it on camera, but where these chairs are, is a dip. So our blind is actually sitting up a couple inches higher than our chairs. And if you're on level ground, I always feel like my head's sticking too far up. And I don't really like that. So I'm usually crouched down, hunched over like this. And it's not too bad like that. I'll show you the inside of this. Now they got a little camo pattern on it. I did get the, I can't think of what they're called, the little extenders that they come with it. So it's up a little bit higher, 6 to 8 inches. This is the inside of it. And then we'll go back out and I'll tell you some more about it on the other side of the blind.
We're going behind it and do a video.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, so it just stays around you like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Have you never seen this one before?
This type of a thing?
Yeah.
Not really.
You never seen me get it out before? Oh yeah.
have.
I've had the deer come, one little button buck come within like 10 yards. And they, of course, they don't know what a mirror looks like, but we do. So it just blends right into them. This is just out in the open.
Where do you stick your gun through them little holes?
Yeah, you can either right through here. Gun, bow, whatever you want. Oh.
And you can even put your barrel through it.
You
And
can,
you
but
can
you don't
peek
want to do
through it.
that.
You can even peek through it.
Yeah, you can peek through there. I'll give you a close-up of it. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it will scratch. You can put the little cabinet stoppers on them so they don't scratch like that one there. But it does look like it made a little indent there. And it's really easy to clean too. You just take a hose to it. You get the carrying bag. You get the carrying bag that it comes in, which is pretty nice. You also get a couple of these little tie downs that you can stick through these little holes for high wind. They give you like 4 or 5 little spikes that you can put in the ground to help with the high wind, but if there's high wind, those little spikes aren't going to do very good. You're going to need to use these. These you put on to help it keep its shape when you're done with it and you go to store it. They always say to store it laying flat, don't store it standing up, because it'll mess it up. And they say it's really easy if it messes up or if it warps, just lay it back flat and put like a heavy weight on it and it'll take its form back. They do have a couple little pockets you can put stuff in. I've hooked this up and I have tied my crossbow to it and took it in, and I've strapped my chair onto this so my hands are free, and all I was doing was just toting this on my back. The good things about it is he's never seen it yet because he fell asleep. I have taken this out and used it a handful of times. The deer don't really, it's more like they're curious of what it is because they don't know what a mirror is like we do. And when you're looking through it, you're only going to be showing this part or this part of your head. So I mean, they don't know that shape. And this mirror does blend in pretty good. Like I said, the best way to do it is with a lot of overgrowth, and you'll not even be able to tell that it's there at all. I'm doing it in the yard today because it's hot out and I don't feel like going into the woods to try and do one. So we settled for here. What do you think of it? Good? Yeah. Now I did have this set up, and I did have a little button buck come in within 10 yards. He was very curious of it. Like, I even had my head through this part right here looking at him, and it didn't startle him or anything. I think what it was he probably seen his reflection in it, and that's maybe what made him a little bit curious, but he stayed around for a good minute. Now we'll get into the things I guess I don't really like about it. If you have to walk anywhere from a mile to 2 miles and you have this on you, this isn't really that heavy, but once you have a crossbow or your regular bow, a chair to sit in, and your bag that you always take to the woods, it does weigh a little bit on your back. And if you're going up and down hills, you're going to be very tired before you get there. So we'll get back to the things I didn't like. As I said, once you have all your gear strapped to that and walking through the woods, plus you got to go in even earlier and you leave a little bit later than you normally would, because you got to set it all up every time and then take it down. You don't want to leave this into the woods because I'm pretty sure with a high enough wind it would just blow it away and you might not ever find it again. Plus you'll have maybe other animals messing with it, and you don't want that. I normally just use tree stands. I find it a lot easier. Being on the ground is a lot different game than being up top. You can't see as much on the ground. I like being up in the tree way better. But other than the time it takes to set it up and take it down and walk in and walk out with it, it's not too bad. I really like the product. It's a good product. What do you think? You think it's good? You'd buy this? What do you tell them? What do you tell YouTube? They buy it? Yeah? They'd be happy with it? Yeah? Now, and the reason why that I put the cabinet door stoppers, the little plastic pieces or whatever on it, if you drive around with this in the back of your truck, I don't know if they personally recommend it, but I know of a ton of other YouTubers have recommended you put the little cabinet stoppers on it so the mirrors aren't just basically touching each other and when you're riding around vibrating in the truck, because you will get scratches on it. I don't know, I probably can't even show the scratches on the camera because it probably just won't pick it up, but I mean there is scratches on it. from it just walking and everything else. It's made out of all plastic. It's very light. And it's not just deer that will get fooled by this. You could have this completely blended in and have another hunter walk past you, and if he don't know where you're set up and you got a bunch of overgrowth, it's gonna be just about invisible. I've had out deer hunting and I've had a fox come in and he didn't know anything about it. He stayed around for a good minute. But it's lightweight, you can easily clean it. You just spray it off with a hose because it'll get dirt and everything else from it being on the ground. And like I said, with these chairs that we have, I don't know what chair that they really recommend for this, because I'm always like hunched over. Well, my biggest thing is I don't want the deer to even like spot my head make out between this. But with that one buck, he didn't even seem to mind at all. And I would say if you're thinking about getting this, I would do it. If you like hunting off the ground, it's nice. It's something different that you can have. The only thing to me that I don't like is you got to keep going and setting it up and taking it down every time you go. Unlike the traditional ground blinds where you can just leave them out all year and brush them in. But this is definitely a lot different than a traditional ground blind. And another thing is you have to be careful of with the sunlight and the way that the sun raises on how you set it up, because if you're out in the open and it's brushed in maybe a little bit, and the way the sun is coming up, it'll create a shadow, so they won't be able to see you very much, but they'll be able to make out that shadow if it's overlaying on the ground out in front of you or something. So you just have to be careful and watch that. But I've had it for over a year. I want to say maybe a year and a half, and I've taken it out maybe 5 or 6 times. I like it, but I prefer the tree stands way better. I will say that you won't get as busted as much in this than a tree stand. I've been busted way more times in a tree stand than this. And they also have this one whole piece right here. They also have where you can buy 2 extra pieces and make it even longer to where it like wraps around. Because I'll show you what I mean by that. There you go, Holden. Hop back behind there and come look over this way. Okay, so when you're looking, that's what a deer is going to see. So, and he's standing just about completely up. Now it's got 4 panels. I'll give you a side view. It's got 4 panels. So now with the extra 2 panels, you can really extend this out and be a little bit more covered. If a deer comes behind you or between the sides of you. And I always, and now there's one other bad thing I guess I didn't talk about. Because it's only 4 panels, the deer, when they come in from the sides or behind you, they have a better chance of seeing you. I mean, they do have a little bit of that camo pattern, but you might be able to blend in just a little bit, but you're not going to be able to blend in a lot. So if they come in from beside you or behind you, you have a little bit greater chance of getting detected. Now they also do have other products where it's only like half of this for turkey hunting, and everything else that I've heard really good reviews on that for turkey hunting. I would probably honestly rather have the turkey hunting one for turkey hunting than this one for deer hunting. Now if you're thinking about getting this is definitely a unique blind, different than a lot of other stuff out on the market. If you're looking for a unique concealment type blind, this is it. It's been pretty good. I like it. The deer definitely come in a lot close. I've never had a deer within like 10 feet of the blind. I've had different like doghouse type blind where it was like a triangle, and they probably stayed around 20 feet or 20 yards. They didn't really want to come in very much. But this one, it sparked their curiosity and they came in. And he didn't run away. He didn't take off running either. So if you're thinking about getting it, I would get it. It's a very unique blind. I think you'd have a lot of fun with it. I would recommend getting the extenders and the 2 extra big pieces, so it'll really wrap around. Whenever I set it up, I always put it one side like up against a tree or something, so I can try and curve the other side around me. So if they happen to come from my side, they won't get as much of me. That it'll just be more of the blind. And there is a lot other things that you can do to this to make it to where the wind's not going to affect it. You can take tree branches or a couple branches and put them in here and put it on the ground of the woods, and it would help add a lot more stability to it. And that tree branch is going to reflect off of this, so they're really not even going to think about it. So if you're thinking about getting it, I would get it. It's definitely a lot different than anything else out. And that's it for this review. If you liked it, enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button. I got a lot of other videos, fishing, a lot of other reviews. That's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next one.